Can't read. Oh, God.
Your mic's hot. Go.
It's hot.
Yeah, go.
Are we on?
By the way, we're keeping this in. By the way.
Oh, we're keeping this in. That's what's
I like the behind the. We like the behind the scenes stuff.
Let's rock it, brother. Hey, welcome to this week's episode. This is Across the Pond Golf. Man, it's gonna be interesting. Bittersweet week. I got a little bit of announcement to make. Not in reference to me, because I'm your boy. I'm always here. I'm always gonna be here. But in reference to our boy Logan, if you've been here since the beginning, we started as a trio, and we've kind of dwindled down. I've given him the notion, where in the world is Logan? San Diego. Our boy's busy, man, and he's decided to kind of take a step back, deal with his work and all his responsibilities in life, and I respect that. I know Craig also respects that. He will be coming back. He's always welcome. Logan, if you get to hear this, brother, you're always welcome, man. I really don't think I would be here in this position without the tutelage of Logan, and just kind of leave it at that. And I want to thank you for everything you've done for us, and we look forward to catching up in the future, brother. But until then, we're still here, Across Pond Golf, and your boy Craig and Eric's. We're just gonna keep going, rocking the golf, rocking the talks, and we'll see where it goes from here.
Yeah, we're gonna see what happens when the captain's not here, eh?
Yeah, brother.
Now that the captain's away for a wee while, so the Pirates have taken over the show, so the ship. So we'll see how that goes. How you been this week?
I'm doing pretty good, brother. As always, driving hard on the business. Probably not my best week when it comes to positive news, but yeah, show goes on. I always adapting, always looking for new and positive ways just to continue forward and enhance ideas and ideals. And yeah, bro, I got no good solid info this week, but as always, man, I just continue on. I wish I would have got some more golf news in. I do start a little bit of a scramble league with my bro Jeff this week, and so be hitting the course again a little more than previously, but that's it, dog. That's it. I'm just rocking on, dude.
Plugging along. Well, I had a couple of days off work, Thursday, Friday last week, so I've joined a new. I know if we've spoken about it properly, but I've joined a new course. It's a wee 9-holer up by where I stay with a few of the guys. So I'm actually really enjoying it up there. It's like so stress free. There's no tee sheet, so there's none of this. I've got a time at 12:36, and you've got guys chasing you. I've been up. I've set up my camera. I've done a wee bits and pieces of kind of vloggy type stuff that we'll maybe get to at some point, and we'll maybe look to try and get out on the YouTube channel. Because I think I'm quite keen to show you guys what I'm working on, and anybody that can give me some tips going forward. So I know I've got some guests lined up. I'll be chinning them for some tips to work on. So yeah, it's been good. You can just, as I said, you can just go up, turn up when you want. There's a standing booking at 10 o'clock for the old guard. So there's the kind of dawn patrol. All the old boys go out back at 10 o'clock, and it's just accepted that that's their time. So you either jump out before them, or you jump out after them, or join in with the guys. Really good group of guys that are up there. So I played Thursday myself. I was testing out a new driver. I know we kind of touched on it to the end of the show last week. I had a one of my mates Sim 2 Max drivers. Couldn't hit the thing. Could not hit the thing. So that was on. Tried that on Thursday. At one point, I was like 2 balls off the tee, and both of them went exactly the same way. This big slice. I actually thought I'd hit a horse at one point as well, because the ball came over, and there's like not wasteland, but shrubbery and what have you. And there was a horse on a neighbouring field. So the first ball was going that direction. I could see the horse kind of looking up. Then the second shot went even wider of where the first one was, and the next thing the horse just shot right across the field, and it was running for the hills. And I'm like, well, hope I've not hit that person.
That's pretty funny. Yeah. There is like a one of the courses close by. There's like a little horse equestrian area, I guess you could call it, nearby. I've seen a couple strays wander that way, and I always wonder, like, who's gonna be the poor soul that hits a horse, dude? And how do you explain, like, what does insurance cover? I mean, it's hard enough to cover some windows for your homeboys who rock out windows, but
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
Horses will be expensive.
I don't remember any famous name a famous horse for me.
Seabiscuit.
Seabiscuit, that's the word I'm looking for. Yeah, I don't know how Seabiscuit's gonna feel when you take a Callaway to the Dome. So
Yeah. So that was my Thursday shocker, and then Friday went back up again. Had a round with one of the guys, Derek. So we just kind of had a bit of a hit about. I think it was 51 for the 9 holes on the Thursday, 48 or 49 on the Friday. So that's a slight improvement. And then I shot a 40 on the Saturday. And you know what I did with it? Why I shot the 40 on the Saturday? Left the driver in the bag. I had irons off every tee. I just kept it in play, knocked it down the middle, and stuck it on the green. Boring golf, but it pays. That's what happened.
Dude, it is like, I find it to be pretty boring golf too. I considered what you talked about with the short driver and the long driver aspects, and I got a couple drivers. I'm the golf equipment addict, as you call yourself as well. But yeah, dude, I just I have the shortened driver and then I have the long one, so I've just kind of decided to play with them a little and see really the effects it has. And let's just talk short grass versus long grass, bro. The difference is night and day for me. I couldn't give you like swing speed numbers. I couldn't tell you what relate like the actual technical analytical numbers, but I could tell you it feels different. I feel just more in control. I feel I can gain and it's not a loss in distance. Like, it's more of a loss in control. And it's probably just hitting the ball square in the face versus some fray. And it's just obvious, dude. And then so I took that, and then I had a super windy day and started hitting the 3-wood off the tee. Driver had no shot and 3-wood, and then I was hitting my 3 and 4 iron off the tee. And I mean, the difference in distance is, there, but the scoring is just Scotty Scheffler-esque, bro. It's boring. It's not, no one's going to write home about Trippy putting down birdies all day, but they're, or they're going to talk, pars, couple bogeys here and there, but the score is respectable. It just makes sense. And I did play in a golf tournament. The Veteran Golf Association was here local in town. And I went over and played in that. At first, some of the boys I played with, there's this big muscle, like I hope he sees this, but his name's Robert, and I turned him on to the show, but his name's Robert, and he it looks like the gym was closed, and that's the only reason he showed up to the tournament type thing. And dude can hit the ball, like he hits his 3-iron like 310 type stuff. And so at first I kind of felt like I had to flex with him, and I put an 8 up on number 1 and bogey on number 2, and then all of a sudden I was like, dude, why? There's just no reason. And after that I just turned it down, geared back a little bit, found the right swing, put it in the fairway consistently, and I transitioned from an 8 to consistent pars, to throwing up some birdies, missing a couple putts, but it just made me think of you, and just there's no reason. I don't have the skill, I have the mechanics, but the mental game plus the mechanics together, and it just wasn't coming out. The equation wasn't working, and again, falling back to you, do what's going to score better, because the distance doesn't always equate to the right answer, basically.
No,
I don't know.
No, as I said last week, I'd rather be 20, 30 yards back and have a decent shot in than having to hack something out the rough. to then put another stroke on the card to then have to go again. So yeah, that was my kind of sense and sensibility side of it, that I was like, no, I'm just going to start playing irons off the tee. So I'm now investigating a driving iron instead of a driver to just give me that extra bit of distance. There's all major brands seem to have them now. It's not really something you see in the bags of pros, but they boys can hit drivers, so we don't necessarily need to be using the driver iron. What I did buy though, now don't judge me, Erik, right? I know like we're boys and we go back a bit like since last year and that. Don't judge me when I show you this, my cheat stick.
Let's see it, brother.
I've bought a chipper. I've bought a chipper, right? I'll tell you my reasoning. Here.
All right, so I know that Logan's not here, and if you hear a little construction in the back, got to pay the bills. But anyway, Chipper, I think you've gone and waited till Logan couldn't possibly be here to pull that baby out, because we know he might have just retired right on the spot if he saw that thing in your hand, bro. But hey, I'm not hating. Where are you using it from? Are you using it from like 10, 20 off the?
No, I was using it like 30, 40 yards off the away back from the green. So I had my pitching wedge. I had a 50, 54 and a 58 was my kind of wedge setup, right? 58, I insisted on trying to play all these flop shots, and then we realised they want to do the right ones and I should be using this bump and run. So in my back garden short game area, I can bump and run it all day long, right? On the practice green, I can bump and run it all day long. I go out on the course and I get to that distance and I'm like, this is just this wee 9-iron bump and run. Knife it, blade it, whatever you want to call it. Duff shots, the lot. So I was like, no, I'm losing a lot of shots here. Or it's going on the green, but it's not going far enough. So I thought, I'm going to investigate these wee chippers. I know they're not cool, but I thought I need to look at something. So what I'm doing now is I've just my normal putter type swing. I take it a wee bit further back, depending how far I'm going. That rounder shot on Saturday where I had the 40, it was early in the morning as well, so it was still kind of wet. So I was able to try and go a wee bit closer to the hole with the chipper. So it was leaving me maybe 4 and 5 feet. And I think I one-putted on 3 out of the 9 greens. So for me, that's good because I was then within a distance that I was comfortable with. It's when I'm trying to do I'm maybe try and do the chip and then I duff it. So there's one shot gone. Then I've got to try and roll it into my 3 feet circle where I know I'm going to make the 3 feet. So that's me lost 3 shots from 30 yards. Whereas if I can get a bit of confidence with this, and it's the same movement that I'll be using with this club as I would with other ones. So as I get better, I can progress into using the club. I feel like I should have been using this 30 odd years ago when I first started playing and not now. But desperate times call for desperate measures and all that, Erik. So I need to.
Yeah, let's as I'm looking at the back of that cheat stick you got there, is that a Schlesinger or what is that?
Yes, Schlesinger.
Schlesinger.
I
mean, it kind of had the Sunday red feel, but no. I just saw the tiger-esque looking thing on the back of it. I wasn't sure if they even made a cheat stick like that, but I'm with you, bro. I've been looking at my swing, my bump and run, altering from flopping everywhere. We've talked about that before, but I am a fairly good flop, air it out type of around the green player. I've just practiced that with my trick shots back in the day, which is, how I ended up even winding up on this show. But it's just not purposeful. Like, it just doesn't make sense. It's like, I tell people this all the time. I'm like, go around the green and toss a ball in the air as close as you can to the hole, and then roll a ball and do it 5 times and see which one's closer. And like 95% of the time, the person rolling the ball is going to wind up closer. And I just gotta go back to my like teaching or my advice and give it to myself, and it just makes sense, dude, and it just works for me. I did have to kind of alter my putting stroke as well as my bump and run. I feel like I was getting a little too wristy, a little too elbow oriented, where I wanted to fall back on like the pendulum style, using my shoulders, using larger muscle group versus like having so many hinges. I think the more hinges that I allow to happen in my swing, the more likely I am to chunk it, the more likely I am to blade it, the more likely I am to I mean, when it hits perfect, it hits perfect and it works, but when I don't, it just equates to an additional stroke on the hole, really realistically. And I'm done with them. I don't like. I'm just not a. I just want to make sure my handicap represents my actual ability, especially with the tournaments and stuff I'm playing in. So like, there's no mulligans, there's no like breakfast balls for me anymore. And not saying I took them a lot previously, but I just like make sure I enforce every little thing. And yeah, and that's an area that just needed work and needed to be representative of my handicap. And I just had to just take a deep hard look at myself and be like, dude, don't make sense. Drop to 60. 64 should never be in your bag unless you're hitting a trick shot. And other than that, just get it on the floor as quick as possible and moonwalk to the hole. You know what I'm saying? It's all about dancing and dancing as quick as possible. And
Yep.
that's
This
it, brother.
issue I had was when I took all three of the other wedges out the bag, and I put that chipper in on the Friday when I went down to try and just get a bit used to it. I stuck one in the bunker, didn't I? And then I'm like, oh man, what am I playing out of here? So I had to like open a pitching wedge to try and get it out of this bunker, high lip bunker. I got it out, but it ended up in the bushes and the barbed wire that were behind the. It sounds like I'm playing golf on like some sort of, I don't know. It's yeah. Anyway, it went into.
You're on like it sounds like you're out on like a farm or something. You're like
Yeah.
barbed wire and horses
And
and like
horses.
we're talking about llamas and cows and all this kind of stuff. So, yeah, there's courses out there, right?
Oh yeah, of course. So yeah, I just so I had to put the 54 back in because I thought I need to have something if I do hit it in the sand. So we'll see where it goes. Talking about Sunday Red, Tiger Woods has been everywhere this week. I've seen him on. Obviously, I was watching it on the YouTube, but he's been on Carson Daly's show. He's been on all these breakfast shows in America, plugging his product, which is now available in the US and Canada. I don't know if you've had a chance to get a look at it. I had a look before we came on here because I wanted to see what the products look like. Now, for Delta PQ Polo in red, which is probably like going to be the signature part, he's talking $120 for a polo shirt. It's like $70 for a plain tee.
Yeah, I'm just gonna be straight up honest. This is like I'm finding a huge separation between my want and give it crap. That's ridiculous, dog. Like what are you, Tommy Bahama? Like I'm not even trying to plug Tommy Bahama. I'm just saying, bro, let's get realistic. Like so your market is only professionals? Like is that your market? Like, or your market is to have the amateurs spend way more than they should be on a t-shirt? Like what is your what's your material made out of? Like gold? Is it made out of like I don't understand, like spider webbing, or like I don't really get it. And I understand you want to make money, but dog, you are the richest golfer that has ever existed. You are one of the wealthiest men, like in the public eye. Like you have money, homie. Like you don't need our money, dude. Like, yeah, I understand where you're at and you want to create a business and you want to, I just don't see how this is a business that is going to excel. Like I just don't see the everyday golfer rocking a Sunday red other than maybe a hat that they just like want to represent their hero Tiger Woods with.
That's what I was going to jump in with there. So I had a look through the kind of like the clothing line side of it. Now, I would say that my kind of age group, right? So the 40-year-olds who grew up with Tiger when he was in his prime and we seen it when we were younger, right? And would go out and buy Tiger Woods stuff. I wouldn't think many folk that are our age, my age, I don't know how old you are. How old are you anyway, Erik?
I'm 36, but yeah,
I
I
thought you were
mean,
in that. Thought you were in that ballpark, but you're not
yeah.
likely to go buy something like that, right? Then
No,
my dad's
I mean, I could.
generation,
I'm reckless with money. Let's be
yeah,
real, bro. Like, I could be reckless, but I don't get reckless when it comes to like what I'm wearing. Like, shoot, example, right now, I'm like, I got a sweatshirt on with paint and stuff all over it to represent myself on our podcast. So,
yeah,
I don't really care. I wear the same hats all the time. Like, I just don't care when it comes to that. I'm
yeah.
not searching for women at this point in time. Yeah, I'm single, but maybe when I gotta go lock in a princess, then I might step it up. I might go get a Sunday red shirt, but that's about it, homie.
Yeah, but that's what I was saying. Like the slightly older generation. So my dad's generation, who are maybe the late 50s, early 60s, into that side of things, they're not going to be buying that stuff. And I can't see any of the younger folk buying it. As you said, maybe the kind of apparel line, which is where he maybe should have gone down. I had a look at some of his apparel stuff, and they're doing like headwear. He has got some really good caps, and there's a really smart bucket hat for those who will wear a bucket. I only wear a bucket hat to wind my wife up, right? So we're on holiday last year. And she already thinks I'm ridiculous for wanting a pair of Crocs and whatever else. But see, the more she complains about it, the more I decide I'm going to wear it. So I probably will, when we're on holiday this summer, I might potentially buy a cap just to have something. As I said, you can't buy it over here. But I can't see myself spending any amount of money like he's expecting for polo shirts. There's hoodies that are $200. On all the interviews I've seen, it's by athletes, for athletes, is how he's plugging that. But I don't know who you're going to. I can't see many people wearing it.
Yeah, I mean, and then I mean, so by athletes for athletes, and I get it, and I think it's pushing the athleticism of like golf, and um, like pushing the mentality. I think, and but I don't. I think it should be by athletes for professionals. Like I just don't like again. I just don't see the amateur going up to fork up enough to have a full wardrobe outside of maybe being an ambassador for him or maybe being something like that. I think the bucket hat's funny. I think it's like one of those like, yeah, you're gonna piss off the old lady type thing, mess with the boys on a trip or something. But for me, like rocking a bucket hat and swinging the golf club, it's kind of like wearing headphones. Like what happens is I feel like the hat and it brushes up, or even glasses. When I wear glasses, I often like I swing tight and I'll bump the glasses, or it just is something a little bit to throw me off. I think some people like look at it like when they see the book in the back of somebody's pocket, like the yardage books and stuff, that it just is something little to throw you off. So the bucket hat doesn't really work for me, but obviously it worked for at Valspar and Copperhead for our boy Peter Malnati or whatever his name is. But what disappeared? He had a good Copperhead round, but we haven't seen him since. He qualified for all these other tournaments, but we ain't seen nothing from him. I'm not saying I don't want to see him. Obviously good family man and all that stuff, but I just I am just having a hard time relating to the product, having a hard time relating to, which I never thought I would, because like Tiger Woods is one of my golf heroes, dog. Like, yeah, I like Phil Mickelson. Yeah, I like some of these other dudes that may not be the most popular amongst the everyday golfer or the amateur. I like a little conflict, so that's just me. And I think Tiger Woods represents that, but I think he's got a little too much conflict and a little too much separation between fantasy and reality. And I think he's going to lose out on some market value. And I'm just starting a business. I can't be like Tiger Woods. Hey, dude, you like this? Listen to me on business. Obviously, he has more value in that world than I do. But
And
I think that
you would stock his stuff if he phoned you. Eh?
Yeah, bro, I
If he's
would.
hitting you up, like,
Yeah. Hey, Tiger hits me up, but I want to look at it like, I want to compare it to Michael Jordan versus Shaq, right? Michael Jordan, dude, cool. Like one of my heroes again in basketball. I remember growing up, Michael Jordan was on was the only basketball I could watch. In fact, the Nuggets were so terrible when I was a kid that you couldn't even watch the local basketball or professional basketball team locally, and what they would do is they'd broadcast Michael Jordan and the Chicago Bulls. Look at his product. His shoes are, dude, let's be real, outrageous, man. The only people wearing them, and they're not wearing them for actual play. Like nobody's rocking Michael Jordans out on the court. People are rocking Michael Jordans with suits now. They're rocking Michael Jordans with like their everyday apparel. They're working they're a looks thing and not a play thing. And I think that's the route that Tiger is going here. I think he's a representative of like the Michael Jordan-esque type apparel. But I think I just think the for by an athlete for an athlete is maybe buy an athlete for an athlete to wear at like a prom. You know what I mean? Like you can wear some MJs in Sunday red to prom this year, but I just don't see it out on the course.
nah, nah. I think he's I think he's going down more the like lifestyle brand side of it than the kind of sports brand. And like I know he'd said he's got more money than he knows what to do with. So it's not an issue of money. He just wanted something that was a bit of a legacy thing and something that he can pass on. So what he maybe should have been doing, in my humble opinion, Tiger, if you're listening to this, you should have leaned more into the Charlie side of things. You know, you could have had your brand called, you could have just done TW, but Team Woods instead of Tiger Woods. And then that becomes Charlie's later on. He looks at like a younger person's, the younger person's kind of apparel side of things. I'm sure he's got ideas of styles that he will like. So why not get him wearing it? And then that is how you build your brand and you continue going on from there. But what do I know? I'm just a guy for this thing and I want an idea.
I do like that he's going out there broadcasting. He's marketing his product. I didn't think that would really even be a thing. I thought he'd be too busy for that. I do like that he's making that attempt. I do like the idea that he's trying to ruin his own brand by obviously winning another major. I do like that aspect. Maybe he goes and ruins his apparel line and he has a Team Woods, or maybe in the future they launch something that the kids or Charlie's age can afford and would wear. But as for now, just I don't know, whatever. He's gonna obviously do what he's gonna do, and we'll see where it goes from here, brother. I'm sure we'll talk about it, and it's always gonna make the news. So
I just think it's a miss. It's a miss from me. Like I just think it's a. And then he's obviously done these interviews, and he's in classic media trained mode. You know, he's not really given a lot away as to. But there was one interview he did where he was talking about how the whole red thing came about, and it was to do with his mum. And I don't know I can't remember the full story, so I'm not going to butcher it. But it was to do with she wanted him to wear this red because that was his birth colour, and it was like just give him strength going forward and what have you. And he decided he couldn't wear it all the time, so they agreed to wear it on a Sunday, and that's where they've gone. So the whole history and the story behind it, I 100% get. But I just think, having looked at some of the apparel, I mean, I've had another quick look there before we kind of finish up talking about that. The cheapest item on that website, clothing-wise, is a $70, like just a T-shirt. And it's just a plain T-shirt, and it's got Sunday red written on the inside. There's not even anything on the front of it. So yeah, I think it's a bit of a miss on his part. But like I said, he's multi-billionaire Tiger Woods, and I'm just Craig that chats to you every Tuesday from my bedroom in Scotland. So yeah, what do I know that he doesn't know? But anyway, we'll move on. PGA Tour.
I think I'm not gonna stick with the brand. Let's move on from Sunday Red. I think like in other news with Tiger Woods, and it's just kind of use that to move on. But obviously he came up with like the whole Taylor Gooch thing. Taylor basically pissing off everybody, saying, "Hey, I'm not gonna go out. I'm not gonna try out to go play in Valhalla. I don't care about the PGA. If they don't want me, so be it. You're gonna go and give." And this is ballsy. Like, this is, I think, the ballsy statement he could have said. But you're going to go give Tiger Woods an exemption, which he's not going to use to win. And that's, like, hey, like I want to see Tiger Woods win one more just as well as the rest. Like, let's give golf its, attention that it always deserves, I think. And Tiger Woods brings that. But I also don't think he's wrong. I love the conflict. I love the confidence. If he didn't go and say that, you think PGA Championship's going to go invite Taylor Gooch without him going and working for his own exempt? Heck no, dude. They ain't going to do it. And he stood up for himself. And look what happened within days, bro. Everyone was saying, F Taylor Gooch, you know what I mean? Yeah. Screw that guy. He's not worth it. And I think they're wrong. I think he is one of the best players on the planet right now. Yeah, he plays for Liv, and y'all could, fumble with that as you will and hate on him as you will. But
he's been quiet on Liv. He's been quite quiet on Liv this year. So see maybe last year if he'd had that exemption in, because he's obviously just come off of playing on the PGA, right? So he still knows how to get the ball around the course. Then he goes to Liv and he has that purple patch where he's like winning everything in sight. Then I would say yes, if he had an invitation to that one, he potentially could compete. I don't know now. He's backed himself into a corner. He's talked himself up into this. I'm now going to have to go out here, and hopefully Tiger shoots higher than him, and he just kind of puts him back in his place.
I am going to have to agree in that aspect. Dude, he's going to have to show out. You come and look stupid, you're going to look stupid, and you're going to be booed off every stage, and you ain't ever getting that invite back, brother. And I understand last year might have been a better time to represent that, but also this time last year, we weren't really aware, you know what I mean? He had just won Adelaide. He had just won Singapore at that point. We're very aware, even to this point, that Taylor Gooch don't really win in America, bro. So maybe PGA isn't like the correct choice to come in. I think that would have been a better way to approach it, in my opinion. I think he would have been better off looking for exempt to the Open, maybe a better exempt to the actual British Open or whatever you guys call it. But
the Open.
Yeah, the Open. All right, I'm just messing with you. I see the flag behind you, brother. No, I think he would have been better off looking for that exempt to the Open. And I think it's just noted that Taylor Gooch's home field advantage of America really isn't a home field advantage, and he sits prime in between at the Gooch area, and he's playing in the middle, and we don't know if who's gonna accept him, because Liv doesn't really like. Yeah, Greg Norman takes him and boosts his Liv accomplishments and his playing ability. Is one of the best iron players currently. I'm gonna have to disagree a little bit. I think Brooks Koepka far and away makes Gooch not the best player in his own league. In his own league.
He's the biggest threat on Liv, like to that PGA, because I mean, he obviously coming in as a defending champion and stuff. But see Taylor Gooch, is this not like his third team since he joined? So is he the bad apple of the bunch? Does he get in a team and then he's like, actually, I just want to be here for myself and I'm not a team player, and then that's when he gets bumped on? I know Bubba Watson said that he transferred him because he wanted to get Matthew Wolff in, because he sees him as a star for the future, and he thought he was available. He was like, I can get him in early in this round so that when Bubba steps back, Wolff is going to be more of would have more potential than Gooch. And then he ends up getting picked up by Koepka's team, isn't he? He's on Smash this time. So, it's I don't know. Maybe he is. It's maybe him. It is maybe him. He lets his mouth go. He lets his mouth go in the press. Does he do it in the team rooms? Does he wind everybody up? Sounds like it.
He's must, man. He clearly looks like he winds everybody up. He's been moved around for a reason. I mean, to go from like Bubba having him last year to where Taylor Gooch wins the individual, and then to move on from him is wild. To Matt Wolff, which had Thomas, like he looked so good coming out of PGA. He looked so good early. He's got power. He's got the weird swing, but like that's not a full representation of what he is. He, Furyk-esque, but he it looked like he was just going to start dominating, and I thought he was going to be the Liv player in the beginning when Liv was like, let's rock this thing. I think Matt Wolf was the perfect person to bring on and showcase this new league. But it has wound up to be completely opposite. And then for Bubba to be like, let's drop Gooch, which is the individual champion from 2023, to pick up Matt Wolf, who's literally done nothing. And if it weren't for AK at this point, we're talking Wolf's DFL all the time. So and injured, not just DFL from his play, but like he's injured, he's dropping out of tournaments. They're having to replace him or have somebody an alternate come in for him. Yeah, just it's wild. So Gooch, just his attitude may not maybe we end up seeing him on a charity league in the future. You know what I'm saying? If he comes out and looks like plays terrible at Valhalla and just discuss the PGA world more than he already does, he's gonna look real stupid.
He's going to burn a lot of bridges, and particularly
Exactly.
when you take a shot at Garrett, well, the head of the PGA. I mean, I know they've got Jay Monahan and they've got all these boards and stuff, but nothing happens on that tour unless Tiger says so. So Tiger's probably been like, "Oh yeah, Gooch, you reckon, right? On the phone, get this boy in the field. I'll put him back in his box, and we'll send him packing back to Live again." So yeah, it'll be interesting. They've got to pair them together as well. That has got to be one of the ones that
please pair them together. It's like a DeChambeau Koepka sort of thing. It doesn't carry the same weight as it did PGA time frame when he was walking with the cleats, and you just saw Koepka's face where he just was disgusted by even the it keeps giving me a thumbs up. Is it? Are you doing that, or am I?
You're doing that.
Oh, that's funny. Side. Okay. Yeah, I must have such good points that are platforms giving me a thumbs up. But yeah, bro. Woods and Gooch would be hilarious right now. There's a lot of little word plays that we could go into with the whole thing too. And yeah, I think dude, attacking the GOAT, bro, like that's just opening a whole can of worms, brother. And I just don't think bad idea.
So yeah, Brooks is coming in. He's got a week off now, so he won again on Live at the weekend, and he's now got a week off before he defends his PGA. So you've got to fancy him. You know, he's, as I say, defending champion, coming in hot again. I didn't see much Live just with the time frames again for this year, for this weekend. But obviously made sure I knew who'd won it. And Stingers were team champions again for the second week in a row. So they seem to have got their act together. But yeah, they'll now be off for the next few weeks, so we'll not be hearing much from.
I do find it interesting, like kind of like where Koepka's at. We saw last year when he came in and won the PGA Championship. We saw him really come into the Masters, take that second place. The head of steam was really on the end of the PGA, but we didn't really see him representing the Live side of things very well. He wasn't winning tournaments. Like I said, Taylor was winning these tournaments at this time of year last year. And going into this year, it's kind of the opposite. We see Koepka winning over at Live, but not really representing himself well at the Masters. And I'm not saying he played terrible, but like he just, wasn't runner up. And I'm curious how that'll translate to this year, defending obviously his title at the PGA Championship. And again, I love controversy. And also if this year Liv gets swept out of majors, what's that going to look like next year? and what will that look like as far as taking over control and bringing more people over, or vice versa. And I think we're on like a weird we're in a weird point. Like it's the whole golf world's in a weird point right now, but I think Kepka really heads up this side of it, and I'm curious to see what he does.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, we'll touch on that next week before we go kind of a bit of a preview for the PGA for coming on for next week. But while we're slightly off topic, when it's now not Live, but it's this TGL, so this Tigers Golf League. See, it's tomorrow's golf league. They've announced their teams this week. Have you seen much about it? I'm still not 100% sure. I watched a video that's like a cartoon of Ricky Fowler explaining to everybody how it's going to work. Basically, there's a big screen and they're going to hit balls, and then when it gets down to the green, they've got some weird technology that can simulate.
It's gonna like release the. It's so ridiculous. Like,
yeah,
I like the crowd thing. I like the technology thing. I think my business has been heavily driven off technology, heavily driven off data. However, dude, I'm not with the little weird ball release simulation thing. I think there's going to be a weird understanding. I don't like how they announced with Ricky Fowler in anime mode or whatever. Like, I'm not even like an anime, or like I'm not even a digital. Like, I don't like that. Like, show the dude. It's not a cartoon. Like, golf is a fun game, and it can be simulated and it can technology driven, but like, I don't like cartoons. So like, don't make it a cartoon, because the moment you make this cartoon, you're cutting out a huge dynamic or a huge a huge group of people that might watch. I just don't think that's the way to go.
Yeah, they've obviously tried to do it with the kind of technology side, and they've been like, "Oh, we'll have this kind of all singing, all dancing." I think it's called like stop motion stuff. But yeah, I think they missed the point for there. For me,
I better stop hating on Tiger, because I might get just ex-nayed out of the golf world. So I'm not just trying to hate on Tiger, bro. I think I like where they're going. I like they're pushing technology. I like they're driving golf. I'm all about it. I'm not trying to just hate on Tiger or the new world. Obviously, I love Live. I love the technology behind it. I just don't see the connection between fumbling a golf ball onto some random green without seeing the actual without the actual hit of the ball. And I think there's just a dissolve of options there.
It would be better if they had, so it's like 6 teams. So if they just had the 6 teams and had a home course that's where they were always going to play every Monday, they would be playing off of this thing, and they actually play the full 18 on a proper course and have it like a proper league, right? To almost show Live how a league setup would work, because although Live's got the league, it's a bit convoluted. I mean, there's some big names in it. They've got, I'll quickly run through them because it shouldn't take too long. You've got Atlanta Drive, and that's got Justin Thomas, Patrick Cantley, Billy Horschel, and Lucas Glover. Decent team. Boston Common is Rory's team with Keegan Bradley, Adam Scott. Now, they had Tyrrell Hatton, but he's obviously jumped to Live now. So I think they're still trying to name a fourth. You've got Jupiter Lynx, who's Tiger Woods, Max Homa, Tom Kim, and Kevin Kisner. Los Angeles Golf Club, whose logo looks a bit like the Four Aces. Colin Morikawa, Sahith Sagala, Justin Rose, and Tommy Fleetwood. And then New York is Fitzpatrick, Fowler, Schauffele, Young, and the last one I think is Bay Golf Club, Ludwig Aberg, Wyndham Clark, Minwoo Lee, and Shane Lowry. That bottom one is probably actually my pick to win the whole thing. That's like 2 studs in Minwoo Lee and Oberg. Wyndham Clark's a major winner, as is Shane Lowry.
I'm 100% with you. That's the winning team. Jupiter's aft. Come on, Tiger Woods is not who he used to be. He's not gonna be with this data, this technology. He's gonna be a fallout. Rory's gonna be a fallout.
Kevin Kisner's a
Kevin Kisner's. It's like he's like Duffner to me. Like, he's fun, but like, dude, he's gonna end up a broadcaster and not a player. Whereas I already think that Kisner should be like a broadcaster for this. Who's going to announce it too? Like, who's going to be the name? Because it can't be Faraday. Faraday's already over at Live. It's not going to be Al Michaels because nobody wants to hear Al Michaels at this. He wants to hear him at. Did I even say his name right? They want to hear him at the Masters. They don't want to hear him at this new thing, you know.
Oh,
And
they'll end up getting like Charles Barkley and
it has to be,
who's the other
bro.
boy
It
that's
has to be.
DJ
Yeah.
Khaled. DJ Khaled.
Oh God, please no, bro. Please no. Like, oh God, I would not. I literally wouldn't watch because of that. I'm not. Look, I'm not a DJ Khaled hater, but like, he's faded
It's
for
too
a
much.
reason. He's
Yeah.
faded for a reason. Like, it was exciting when he came into the golf world last year. That was
Yeah.
cool. But then all of a sudden it became Louis Vuitton bags and like showcasing your cars and like I don't give a F, dog. Like, I don't care about your cars and your bag. You suck at golf. Like, I'm glad you're improving. I'm glad it looked all edited. I hope he's getting better at golf, and I'm not hating on the man himself, but like, it's just not the identity I represent in golf or I like to see in golf. And please don't do that to me. And I just, dude, like the Boston Common, like, I don't know, bro. The names are a little finessed and
They're better than the live names though. Like, because they're almost like they've got an identity to some
no,
place. That's
bro,
what I
like
mean.
Jupiter, what? They named it after
Yeah,
their
so but
town
then
they
the
live
people
in.
but the
Max
people in
Homa's not
Jupiter
even
have got
from Jupiter, dog. Like Jupiter, Florida. That's what they're representing, right? Because that's where
yeah,
Tiger Woods live. Max Homa lives in California, homie. Like, what the fuck?
yeah. And
Fudge. My bad. I
and
let
there's
that slip, so we're gonna have to cut that.
yeah,
Boston
yeah, and
Commons,
Kisner's for the
bro.
south, so yeah.
Like, come on, dude. I'm pretty positive that whole McElroy's well, like, is this like a play on the Tea Party thing or what? Which side of it are you on? Because that's already a losing battle. You lost the Boston thing, homie. So I don't know about that one. And what was the other one? Like, you're copying the four aces on your logo, and
The
I
LA
don't
one
know,
just looks a bit
bro.
four aces to me.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
the
trash,
thing is, I
dog.
can see, but it's better than Smash,
I
Cleeks,
agree. Yeah, I'm not with
Ripper.
the
Yeah,
clay. I think Ripper's kind of it's okay. I don't like the logo of it. I think they could play a little different with like who's on the team, but I think it plays in a little bit of the Aussie-ness, but I think they could play on that a little more.
yeah.
Smash. I don't know. That's for let's not
Something
get
else.
I'm not gonna get derogatory here. Let's keep away from the derogatory statements. And yeah. I don't know. I don't know where to go with it. Like, I don't think you obviously can't play into like the MLB, NFL, MLS or whatever you call your soccer stuff over there, but I'm just kidding, dude. I'm just upsetting everybody this podcast. I'm Taylor Gooching this week. You know what
Yeah,
I'm
you
saying?
are. Yeah, you're going for ratings this week,
I'm
Erik.
just yeah, I'm choke holding
Nobody's
this
safe.
thing.
Nobody
Yeah.
is safe. Cool. Well, we're just about to wrap up anyway. But there was
Yeah.
PGA Tour this week. It was Taylor Pendrith that won. There's a boy Ben Coles had maybe he should buy sell a chipper. You'll need to watch it if you've not had a chance to see it yet. So he's in some thick stuff on 18 and he duffs his chip, which results in a bogey. And then Pendrith ends up with the birdie to win it at 23 under. And then the DP World Tour was won at 8 under. Adrian Otegi, 5 wins on the DP Tour. We've spoken about him before. He started the Sunday with 5 shots back as well, so that was some run from him. That's going to wrap up of what we've had. Wells Fargo this week. No Scotty Scheffler, so there's rumblings potentially the baby is here or she's going into labour this weekend. So there's a chance for somebody else to win something because Scotty's decided to take the week off.
Did we see him last year? Wyndham Clark's. This is where we saw Wyndham Clark to step up last year and pop up. And we saw him win this and then go in win the major last year. I don't think he's going to defend it. I'm obviously a Wyndham fan from being Denver, so I'm not going to Taylor Gooch this one. But I maybe another Taylor wins. I don't know, like the Taylor Pendrith wins, and then what's the dude from Canada?
Nick Taylor.
Nick Taylor. Maybe I see like a Nick Taylor win this week or something. I
Well,
don't
we'll
think
see.
Rory's going to win. Oh, is Rory playing?
Yeah, it's a elevated event. So there's two on. There's Wells Fargo, and then there's the Myrtle Beach Classic, which is the one that we touched on the other week, where the content creators and stuff managed to or had tried to get
squeeze in.
Micah Morris and all that. So
you think we'll see a Bryan brothers? I foresee a Bryan brother winning that over there at the Myrtle Beach, and then I see a upset where Rory's playing well and he gets beat out because he can't win on his own. I think it'll be like a Nick Taylor Canada boy. Maybe Wyndham pops up. I think you're missing out on the TGL by not having Scotty Scheffler. The church crew or whatever they would name their team. But the Bible thumpers or something.
do you think they've asked him?
Yeah, dude, but he's not gonna. He's number one, dog. Like, he don't have to fall into Tiger's stuff right now. Like, he's number one, dog. You gotta come and track him down, and there's no reason to. Focus your efforts on the PGA right now. Hold that number one spot. You go and put any effort into anything else, you're gonna lose your number one spot, and that's just my true feelings. And I just don't think the Bible thumpers would be a very popular team. So that's it, dog.
And that's all I've got to say about that.
And drop the mic. I'm done this week. That's it for me.
This week. Right, I'll let you back to shouting at your builders and get back on top of them. We'll pick it up again next week. We can go over do a bit of a preview for the PGA, and we'll see who's made a mess of things this week. All right, take care, Erik. I'll speak to you next week.
Later, brother.
Cheers.